The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be attained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with many firmness his invasions on the right of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices, and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures, and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and behold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the supreme judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all potential connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. 248 years ago, almost a quarter of a millennium, the founding fathers of this country drafted and signed this document. Just have to worry that in the current political climate, we're going to forget the circumstances that brought this country into existence. So I felt it would be appropriate on today of all days to read the document again. Now then, hey everyone, I'm Surreal K9. It's DROD, the Second Sky. Today, ray guns! Yes. Alright, what does the scroll say? Does this just say how to use a ray gun? Yeah. Alright, so I believe we have 4 secret levels to do here. This is a Larry Merck level, so it's going to be quite the event, let's just say. Now then, how do I accomplish anything here? This looks like a sort of level where I need to carve out a complicated path for... Wait, no, that... Oh, yeah, I see it. He also made the ore refinery. Oh, boy. Alright, let's see here. How do we want to pull this off? Well, for starters, this looks good. Although I should probably save that for last. Alright, so what exactly am I trying to accomplish here? some of these need to be held down. Why is there an alt glitch here? What is any of this? Okay, so by the very act of shooting this... Oh, that's a fuse. That's a fuse, and I can... The Ontlich sets that off. Okay. So, in essence, I just need to weigh down each of these switches. Okay. And how do I propose to pull that off? I can see the tunnels here. That's a south tunnel. That is also a south tunnel. Okay, well, first of all, that wasn't right. Gotta be careful not to set off the bombs early, so... Gotta carve a diagonal path through all of this. And do that. Now then. Wait, there's a secret room here. Hi, secret room, or is this what I'm doing first? Maybe. What is all this? Am I... Grass. Brains on grass. And all of this is happening. Why is all this happening? Alright, so... Okay. It looks to me as though... I need to kill all of the brains without striking any of the bombs. That's what's happening here. Let me open up my notes just so I can, not right now. Alright. Okay, so this is going to be a bit odd here. Alright, so I think logic demands that I start from here-ish. Okay, yeah, I'm only allowed to strike each orb once. But, hang on, this brain, I might be able to get away with killing last and striking the bomb on the same turn. It depends on in which order the room clear gates and the bombs resolve. But I'm going to trust that I have this right, so... No. Okay, I was wrong. And of course that doesn't accomplish anything at all. Alright, yeah, my first magic trick is going to be getting out of this room, like, at all. It would be nice if I could start from outside, but I'm not sure how I can do that. Because if I could start from outside, then I could shoot these two on a diagonal and still hit this orb. As a matter of fact, if I was starting outside, it would kind of trivialize the room, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, considering this orb is the only one that's outside this rectangle of brains, it seems pretty obvious to me that I need to start from there. So, let's see here. This is what is happening, I guess. I mean, this is the same thing I was doing before. So this doesn't really help, does it? And now we got two brains that are not aligned. Well, this brain isn't aligned with any of these orbs. That's the problem. Yeah, let's see here. Am I missing something about how these cracked orbs interact with the ray gun? I can't imagine starting from here would do me any good. Because if I do that, then all those are broken too. So, what to do? It would be really nice if I could just break out of here without striking that outer orb, but I don't see a way to do that right now. Like, it just seems like that has to be the first step, but then what? Because then you get this. And I can't exactly push the brains while I have a ray gun. It's also curious that these are on hot tiles. I wonder why. Alright guys, am I missing something here? Like, let's think about, yeah, let's think about the brains that I can hit from here. I can hit this brain, this brain, this brain, this brain, this brain, or this brain. Okay, see, this is an important... That's an important looking brain. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, now let's optimize. $95, is that first place? Yes. Okay. Alright, so now we get into this whole puzzle. Can't really do anything down here from here. Okay, I'll tell you what needs to be happening here. Alright, well first let's clear a path to the keg. Alright, so I need a shooting gallery, and I think the way to achieve a shooting gallery is like this. Alright, so now the babies are gonna come after me. And I need to kill them in a particular order, so... Oh! Oh, that's going to be a problem, actually. Actually, hang on. I can shoot from here. Okay. Kill 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Did I miscount? Okay, leave 1 and 2 alive. Kill 3. Leave 4 alive. Kill 5 and 6. Leave 7 alive. 8, 9, 10. Leave 11 alive. 12, 13, 14. Leave 15 alive. 16, 17. Yeah, hold up. This needs to be here, first of all. Something like that, but... Okay, something else has to be going on here, because... Now they're just going to follow me into here, and that's not something I want. Is it? No. No, that's useless to me. Okay, what else could be happening here? I have to use the powder keg to set off the bomb. Well, maybe. How would I lure any of the... How would I lure any of the mud babies into here? I can't go lower than this, Well, I guess I... Well, no, I could go... No, that's an obstacle. I can't go lower than this column, or this row, so how would I possibly get a mud baby down there? Like, these water tiles are obviously very important. Because, like, these water tiles are the only way I can shoot anything without creating a direct path to B-throw. I decided to start early. Yeah, I think it's hit time, Proxima. This obstacle being here is a curiosity. Yeah, Altlich like to face the player. Like, how does that help me? Like, I obviously know my goal is to hold down some of these. And... oh, wait, no, I'm an idiot. B-throw is supposed to be standing there. Like, I'm supposed to walk in here, and then... I am supposed to walk down here myself. Okay. I'm supposed to walk down here myself and hold down this one. And then shoot all of the mud babies once they have served their purpose. That's what I'm missing. Oops, yeah, don't shoot that yet. Okay, and this alcove is just for accessing the secret room, then. That's what I think. So, let's get started. Okay, so with B-throw holding down the FAR to switch himself, I need to go... alive, dead, alive, dead, dead, alive, dead, 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 alive, dead, 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 alive, dead, dead, alive, dead, alive, and run. Ah, wait. Okay, yeah, that's that's the start of something. Okay, that's the start of something, but I need to give B-throw a little more space than he has. How would I do that? I fired from here. 29.5. I think. I destroyed a broken wall I didn't need to and shouldn't have. Okay. Alright, are you... which wall are you talking about? No. No, that wouldn't... I need a clear shot from like one of these tiles, I think. So I don't see how shooting into the obstacle and then trying to make a path would exactly help. Maybe... Oh, I get it. Okay. Alright, so... That still doesn't give me quite enough space. Oh, right. Wow. There we go. I'm forgetting the little things. 172, by the way. Hey! I saved the move. Cool. 5th place tie. Ah, I gotcha. Heh. Alright, now what's all this? The classic Larry, one last thing. Hang on, I gotta see who's texting me. It's the worship team. Oh, really? Yep, that doesn't help anyone. I see. Wait, where's the puzzle? Oh, that's an ortho square. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't work. Does that really help matters at all? I'm not sure it does. Okay, that can't be quite right. Let's see, how else would I hit this thing? Yeah, seems clear enough to me that if I set off one of these bombs, I set off all of them. But the only way to let that roach out is to shoot the orb. And I have to do it without hitting the brain. It seems like the only place I can even hit the orb from is here. So, I do have to set off the bombs? What if I start... Hang on, what if I started you from here? That might help. Would that buy me time to get to a shooty spot? Maybe. Yes. $105. Hey! I saved some time. Cool beans. 9th place tie. What is all this nonsense? Okay, what sets that off? That does. Why is this important? Because there are omplets here. So... I need to... Yes. Yes, okay. I need to kill rock golems here and here in order to keep bad things from happening. Alright. How to deal with the rock giant? Not like that. Okay, so yeah, for starters, only kill one golem. Ugh. Yeah, boogie! Okay, what order do I want to put you two in? Or three, rather. Alright. I think like that. I wish there was a checkpoint over here. That would be real nice. Alright, we're still in 4-6-5 order, right? 4-6-5, yeah. Ah, wait, I was off by one. Okay, so I think I do want it to be like this then. Perfect. Get out of here, you. Alright, that's secret room 2 clear. 330 tiles, moves. Yeah, not bad. This early morning stream is different. Yeah, hey, Yukos, I decided, you know, well, I asked the Draw chat yesterday whether they'd be up for an early stream, and Sentinel Proxima and I think Hyper Me said, yeah, we need a distraction from the elections, so I'm doing this. Of course, the fact that I'm streaming for a partly British audience made the opening minutes of the stream kind of funny, but eh. Yeah, the UK elections. Alright, what have we here? We have the Sigil of the Recusant. Alright, let's see here. Well, that seems straightforward enough. Just put the powder keg here and shoot it from the left. Now, how do I get the powder keg out of here? Really? That's the thing that opens that? Alright, so what do I do with all of this? First of all, I set off the bomb. Alright, a plan is starting to come together. Oh, wait, no, I need to come in from the... Oops. From the south. Piece of cake. But I see this is here, so we're not quite done. Let's log our high score. 127. I saved some time. Alright, now we resolve the level. Ah, I see it. Okay, doing something wrong here. Oh, bugger. Should be easier with the blue door up. Okay, then I'll come back. Solve the level a third time. Hmm. $150. Not bad. Alright, we only have the 2 secret rooms left. Munitions depot. Warning. Explosives. No smoking. Don't even think about firing ray guns. Room equipped with auto-sealing containment doors. Like that. One of the best puzzles in the hold. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. Alright, so somehow with 8 powder kegs, I need to kill all 3 brains in one shot. The map art in this room? Three? 5? Oh, yeah, there are 5. Friendly neighborhood cereal canine cannot count, I guess. Alright, so, but yeah, five brains with 8 powder kegs. Something like that could work. Something like that could work, and I believe it will. Oh, it's a ray gun. Okay, I gotcha. Ah, wait, I missed one. Yeah, okay. I can't shoot over the yellow door when it closes. But I can stand on it just fine. There's no way to open it when it closes. Now that is a silly way to get around the door, but it also closes the door behind me. So clearly that doesn't work. But I'm onto something here, I think. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna get something all the way up there to explode. Yeah, that doesn't work. Neither does that. Neither of those really works. Alright, so this brain is the odd one out here. Well, this brain is a weird one because it's like, okay, so if I put a, wait a second. These two bombs are lined up. And if those two bombs are lined up, then what can I do about stuff? Because like setting off the bombs with the ray gun produces the biggest explosion compared to lighting the fuse with the ray gun. Because... Oh, that doesn't entirely work, does it? Yeah, those two bombs are not hittable from the same place. Or not hittable at the same time, I should say. Like, if I shot from, like, over here, I could hit one of the two bombs, but that wouldn't actually help me. Because, look, the ray goes through the bomb and hits the powder kegs anyway. That's no good. The fact that these two powder kegs remain after exploding is interesting. You know what would be real funny? If I could get away with doing something here and firing from on top of this closed yellow door, but I don't think that's happening. With help, I could hit both bombs at once. I found part of the solution. Aha! Found you. Okay, now what? Now I can do this. Does that help? Does that even help? I'm not sure it does. Like, yeah, I can use this explosion to get over here, but I still need, like, a bunch of other powder kegs for this explosion to reach over there. And that's mostly fine, but wait, okay. Alright, yeah, it would be awfully nice to be able to set this bomb and this bomb off in one shot, which I would have to do from standing here. But then that closes the door behind me and I can't get away. And, like, once I shoot this orb, I can't get off that tile, or else I can't leave the room. help, I could hit both bombs at once, huh? Okay, wait, so that's something. Yeah?
I would not put this whole thing in there. I would, like, as you are having them, I would put it in your individual.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
This has to be.
Yeah. Coconut cream for making pina coladas. Alright, where was I? Trying to figure out how to get to this. I don't see any rain here. Alright, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to kill all 5 of these brains. Like, this one I can kill right before I leave the room, and it's fine. It was a song reference, and I don't know my music. This bomb here is a little bit of a problem. If I could just get onto this diagonal here. Like, this is where I would have to stand to shoot both bombs with the same thing. If instead I sacrificed 2 powder kegs, I could stand over here. Maybe that's it. Okay, so if I do like that, then... Okay, if I do it like that, then this brain is still a problem. Yeah, wait, no, this chunk of the... I don't need these 2 powder kegs here. I think this might do the trick. Check this out. Okay, well, I figured out what the last powder keg is for. Alright, let's go. Am I missing a powder keg? Yes. Yes, I'm missing a powder keg. $144 moves. Can't see when I do the thumbs up because my face is the same color as my hand. Sharpshooter! Not quite done yet, of course. I don't know why I'm optimizing this. I've already cleared this room. Alright, so this room. Okay, maybe I should, oh, bugger. Alright. What am I supposed to do here? Like, I feel like that's close to what I want to do, but not quite. Yeah, because I can't then turn and shoot, and that ends up not working. This is no good. Yeah. None of this is working. Yeah, that's just the same thing again. It doesn't help. What could I be doing differently here? Like, this doesn't help. I need to start taking care of queens right away, I think. You mean that? Whoops. This doesn't help me with this problem, though. That doesn't help. Because then this happens. That still doesn't help. There. Okay. $274. Alright, well, that's all the puzzle levels. Now I get to see all the bonus stuff, which probably also includes some puzzles. Oh well. That's part of why I wanted to start this early. Let's go. At this point, I would have mastered the hold, which means we can go to machine port.
In another level of Eric's basement, above-grounders are held hostage. They are given a task. Their task: to spread the word that sentient machines are aware of them and their doings. Robots that judge humanity, consider their budding technologies, and evaluate whether they will have the right to the fruits of their creation. These individuals are brought here to express their inner desires, their intent to influence the world with the power given them. This is Machine Port.
Hello, Bethro. Perhaps you've wandered too far. You are in Machine Court now. Please approach the witness stand. Currently, explosive devices are illegal and confined to certain unregulated areas of the beneath. But in the future, a more widespread use and refinements might be expected. Imagine you hold a device in your hand which could, with a single squeeze of your finger, trigger a small contained explosion. And that explosion would propel a projectile through the air with an impressive velocity. I have this question for you. How would you use such a device?
Why would I need that device? I already have a ray gun.
A safe answer, but perhaps a bit timid. I have arrived at a verdict. The 8th is not ready for guns yet. We may review it again later. Currently, I have this question for you. Yes, you could plan a rampage, or even a spree. I have arrived at a verdict. The 8th. Currently, I have this question.
To hunt animals for food or sport.
Pantry filled with meat. Your walls hung with decapitated heads. What more could one want?
Didn't anticipate the Zeldrod contest,
huh? Verdict. The 8th. Currently, I have this question for you. I'm sure this strategy would keep the hoodlums and hooligans at bay. I have arrived at a verdict. The 8th.
Well, that was a silly little thing. Congratulations on making it here. We worked hard on making the game, and you've played hard in order to find this place. Thank you for playing our game and being a fan of Deadly Rooms of Death. Welcome to the Developers Corner. We'd like to share some bonus content produced during the development of the Second Sky. Try to unlock all 3 developer areas. Lowest point in the real world. Gentry game element design. Some of Mike Reimer's early game design. How to write True Tongue. New weapons. TSS features old, forgotten corners of the Empire where mortals rarely tread. Neither king's dungeons nor high paths, but ancient crypt-like places that expose more of the Empire's origins. Enter the Gentry. As work was wrapping up on DROD, Gunthrow, and the Epic Blunder, the Caravel team was already thinking of new game elements for the Second Sky. It's obvious that the Gentry is a chain chomp. Mike was interested in coming up with a way to make a chain chomp work well in DROD space. Mike originally considered that the stake the monster is tethered to would be an intrinsic part of its design. On further thought, it became much more interesting to make tethering an emergent property of the room architecture. Early on, we also thought about the chain chomp charging forward when its tether is broken, possibly smashing through walls and monsters. We didn't travel too far down that road. Having it move more similarly to typical DROD monsters was more interesting. I can't read this too well this distance. Alright, so, variant. Up. Chain chomp variant. Up. Up. Up not... Why? Up not accepted. West. Where's something? West, west, west. South, south. Orientation. Determined by position of previous link. Render head with 1 entry chain link. Render ends chain link tile. Drawn from 2 sprites. 8 directions, an entry and exit link. Movement diagonally if possible, otherwise orthogonal. Plus shallow water, plus hot tile safe, plus can step on monsters with head, with chain. Sound, chain dragging taut. Ugh, I cannot read this at this distance. Let's see. Chain can float over pit. Cut stake to release. Starts charging forward of orange, red. Once it crashes, it becomes inactive / defeated. Link disappears. XX eyes. Doors. Cut chain when closed. Starts charge separated. Data structure. Multiple chain links once cut. Stake. Solid block, chain wraparound, or metal pole can swing around freely. Wrap around as if obstacle. Options. Stake part of chain chomp or separate tile. Question. Can attack chomp to wall. Question. Star unattached. Player movement. Monster. Can't step on chain. Question. Can step over or cross diagonal chain. Is tile 1 belonging to chain chomp? If so, is 2 belong to same chomp? My headphones just fell on top of my microphone, sorry. We needed to work for a while for envisioning exactly how the chain pull physics would operate in DROD space. There is a very good hold called Gentrification that explores all of the mechanics of Gentry. In the Euclidean world, we're used to straight lines being short and more convoluted paths like a zigzag. As you know, things don't operate that way in DROD. Particularly challenging was figuring out how to make the chain look good when both diagonal and axial movements are the same distance. So even though multiple paths are equally the shortest distance between points A and B, we decided to have the Gentry chain pull taut when forward movement is not possible in order to provide a ground state that players would more intuitively expect. We had to think of how the chain would wrap around a roach or other object. We also had to consider what types of interactions would be most interesting from a puzzle point of view. We wanted the flexible chain to be the primary feature of the Gentrii. As a new serpent type that can move diagonally, it would not be very compelling to have a serpent that the player can step over. So we decided on not letting anything cross the chain diagonally. This was different than how players can step diagonally across an enfilade gaze. Of course, the enfilade gaze is not a physical barrier. It doesn't create an impassable wall. Can't cross diagonal chain. Re at 1? No. Safe to move. Yes. Is... I can't read that line. No, safe to move. Yes, blocked. Yeah, you guys can see it. Probably. Example of a monster causing friction blocking forward movement. Would not be chosen according to current movement rules. Blocked. Example of movement straightening out a kink in the chain. Multiple iterative refinements were required to get the chain pull physics right in a way that felt good, both for puzzles and visually for the player as it occurred on screen. One game element that was originally prototyped for the city beneath was a giant ant. Ants would come out of a nest, and the basic idea was they would leave a scented trail toward the player for subsequent ants to follow. The design goal was to have them move like brain monster movement, but without brains. The idea was hard to display on screen, and also hard to get right algorithmically, so that feature was scrapped, but the graphics were recycled when water skippers were conceived. Now, the Gentrii fills one of the niches considered for ants in that it pulls a chain along. It's similar in concept to a stream of ants making their way toward the player. The Gentrii is much easier to comprehend and predict than a swarm of ants was. For people who like looking at pseudocode, you can see an initial draft here of the Gentrii movement algorithm. Get a good look, guys, because, yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't want to look too much at this. It's eh. And here's an addendum to that algorithm that was needed to make things work better. The final algorithm included optimizations and more rules. It became more complex than this. However, we think that in practice, the Gentrii is intuitive to work with and design puzzles around. Hopefully players at large agree. Unlike the organic or silicate life forms of the Empire, the Gentrii and the Construct are ostensibly purely mechanical guardians. But whereas the Construct is programmed, futuristic technology, the Gentrii is primitive, rudimentary, and uncontrollable. The Gentrii was named with its Latin/dinosaur designation, binomial nomenclature, in order to give the feeling that this is an old creation with a primitive brain, something made early on in the Empire's annals that was lost and forgotten deep underground. The Empire wasn't always so extreme in its approach to assimilating all knowledge. I feel this name sets an appropriate tone of heralding back to a more naturally scientific early Empire. Before the bureaucracy started squeezing all the creative life out of creation, turning everything into numbers and alphanumeric designations for precision and clarity, I imagine they started with a more Latin-like classification system, just like we did. Simple Latin! Yep. Woo-choo-choo-choo-choo! A song you've probably heard before, but possibly not with words attached to it. The Whistler. It's a song featured on the title screen of DROD Architects Edition. The lyrics explain how you never really die in these games, even when you seem to be dying a lot.
If you die, it is not the end yet. Please don't cry. You can start again. Just hit one. If you die, I can pull some strings, 'cause I'm the guy that will fix it right back again.
Where's the, That's Eric singing, okay. Huh. Now, here's a question,
Don't ask why, but I have this job to restore life, and without restraint, no complaint. But please try to make it worthwhile. You can't find any better place or better time. I be you, and I take your spot, but I can't do all your special tricks. I just fix a stupid mess you are bound to make. So I suggest use that ugly head, but instead when you fall, it's not always so fair. At your call, the whistler will be there.
wake up, big throw.
And all the whistler can repair. He's your friend, the last one to care. Don't remember all you lost and just what it cost you. Start your gift life. No regrets and no debts to pay back. But remember your mistakes.
Oh, wow.
It takes to make your progress deeper and down until you reach the end.
Is that it? Maybe that's it. Here we are. To see the lyrics for The Whistler and some other songs, go to the Caravel Forum. There you go. There's your link.
Die, it is not the end yet. Please don't cry. You can start again. Just if you die, I can pull.
Beethro is entered into the system. Soon after the turning, a petition was passed around the Empire. A surprising number of citizens signed it. The one-time above-grounder First Slayer was granted a new honorary job. First Smite Master. A statue was erected in his honor and placed alongside the statue of First Watcher. Congratulations on your new job. You've earned it. Lowest point in the real world. The DRODs series has featured some unusual themes. There's the irony in the fact that Beethro, a roll-up-your-sleeves, do-it-yourself, blue-collar type, ends up being more enlightened and practical than an entire empire of knowledge when it comes to saving the world. We've also explored the tension between methods of removing noise versus cleanroom analysis for gaining knowledge. In both cases, information is lost as the environment is brought under control. In some cases, the noise that is removed is actually the signal being sought after. Occam's razor dictates that a minimum of necessary effort be applied in order to arrive at a satisfactory solution. When an empire seeks to bring an environment under total control for the sake of perfect knowledge, the inevitable result is that the salient factors are discarded and comprehension of the ultimate goal is lost in the process. Possibly the same could be said of ephemeral or subjective pursuits such as the art and the creative process. Another theme we explore in The Second Sky is that of power versus helplessness in the face of unknown or unstoppable events. Every human being experiences moments where something shocking and entirely unexpected impacts their life forever. These events seem grand and impersonal, like a natural disaster, or intensely personal, like a loss of a loved one. When your world is turned upside down, there are certain things you can do about it and others you can't. The story in The Second Sky is a vehicle for exploring ways one can choose to cope with life-shattering events. This is the underside of Lowest Point in real life. It's Mount Timpanogos in Utah, USA. This location was used to model the scene rendered for the end of The City Beneath. There is no strict encoding or decoding for the True Tongue. Just follow a similar style to the one in TSS, throwing in a few made-up words that sound slightly like the topic. For example, surface could be a surfactant. The notion is that one or two words carries the meaning of an entire sentence because the vocabulary is massive and subtle. But even simple ideas need sufficient context to explain that the language can be extremely precise. For instance, when Bethro asked the vessels what he should be most afraid of, he contextualized it to the larger problems of the Empire's intentions and interactions with surfacers that were on his mind. If he asked the same question with a different context, the vessel might answer with your mortality, or you spend too much time alone, or something like that. Weapons! We've been thinking about adding new weapons into the game ever since The City Beneath was released. Mike first came up with a pickaxe, the design of which mostly survived intact in TSS. He was introduced as an alternate form in DROD RPG as the Briar Hacker. Other weapons with special abilities were also included in DROD RPG, but in classic DROD we wanted to focus on more tactical considerations. Mike conceived of the spear next. It takes more skill to wield than the pickaxe, which has a smaller range of complementary attack and push movements. Its tar-piercing ability was added to offset that. Mike suggested a spear variant early on in development that was 2 tiles long. The wielder would be able to push 2 or more entities with his swing of this pike, polearm, really big spear. There would also be a new spearman enemy that wielded these long spears. Fighting them would be especially challenging. Ultimately, the team thought this weapon would be too hard to work with and not quite interesting enough over the basic spear. We next invent a staff to complement the sword. The staff pushes in all directions and kills in none, while the sword kills in all directions and pushes in none. The caper was introduced as an additional complement to the other weapons. Like the staff, the caper also pushes in all directions and kills in none. However, it kills when the push monster cannot move further in that direction. The dagger was an alternate foil to the staff. It kills in all directions and pushes in none. It is quicker than the sword in that you don't need to turn to attack, but it is weaker in that its small size cannot block monsters, weapons, etc. The dart and ray gun weapons were implemented in scripting without needing new game code to support. We think Larry Merck invented some excellent puzzles around these alternate mechanics. Indeed he did. Some of Mike Reimer's early game design. Here's how Mike Reimer originally planned out levels for his early games. This one is called The American Adventure, and it was inspired by the Cross series. Look at the tiny squares on that back graph paper. Hardcore! You might still be able to find a copy of American Adventure with its colored ASCII-based graphics if you look around. The game had stairs that take you up and down levels at a given position in the room area. Design concedes it also made it into DROD early on. Huh. In that game, you pick up health gems, the plus symbols, to withstand monster attacks. Most monsters attack you the way that Ghosts and Gauntlet work, where they take some of your health and disappear. You can also collect power gems, the candy cane-shaped symbols that let you attack the monsters adjacent to you once with a sweeping sword slash. There is support for some basic script commands in each level that change things around the room or give you a message. Find an old rusty blade in this hidden room. Many areas contain a hidden exit. Finding them often results in a bonus. There's various terrain like shallow and deep water, bridges, pushable blocks and boulders, and crumbly walls. Generic elements really, but it's still interesting to see how these made it into DROD with novel mechanics. The game utilized the utility that Mike picked up from a guy at high school programming contest that could modify the ASCII symbol display. So this game had some modified ASCII characters that looked like these. Hey look, swords and potions! Did you know you could show stuff like this in an ASCII graphics game? It's pretty cool. There are also side view levels with gravity to pull you downward. Here's one such level. You can make jumps left or right if you quickly tap or hold down the movement key while falling. Ooh. Here's a page of some of the game elements. Look closely and you'll see some things that eventually made it into DROD in some form or another. Invisibility potion. And here are some more game elements. You'll notice even more elements that were translated into DROD. Some just don't apply given DROD's minimalistic player status. Others have found their way mostly by coincidence into DROD RPG. Ooh. This Wonder Quest sounds pretty interesting. Of course, I have to finish Lemmings before I get into any other puzzle-gamey adventures. Here's a page of game elements and monsters from an earlier game. You'll see that a fair amount of non-determinism in the game elements, but it was still puzzly. There's a lot you can pack into an ASCII-based game, as roguelikes can also testify. Concept art! Jukebox. Hey!
It's a fact, he was cooked up in a vat, his birth was black.
And of course all of these over here are the things. Huh. That's cool. A first draft of the CD cover art. We liked the Monty Python-esque feel of the scene, but this suggested a change in the color palette. Press the special command key to view a second draft of this image with an altered color palette and atmosphere. Can kind of see it in the background of the chat there. Progression on the cover art. Another draft for the CD cover art. A beautiful scene by Alex showing B-throw at lowest point. It is interesting with a nice color palette. However, it didn't represent all the majesty we wanted the viewers to feel when considering the second sky. One early suggestion for the CD cover art was to show B-throw activating the temporal tuning fork. While a fun idea, we also ultimately didn't feel it portrayed the grand scope we wanted to present for the second sky. Here's some concept art for the construct. It's actually possible we were deciding whether they should have legs or treads. It's actually possible they have treads on the bottom of their feet like rollerblades. It's a Panzer Soldat. While prototyping enemies for the city beneath, Mike had the idea to have an all-flick gaze reanimate disabled rock golems. This proved to be too difficult to work with in practice. Now the construct provides a kind of reanimating rock golem that is much easier to fight and design puzzles around. Here are the original sketches for the floor seals and the chronometric ruins and the sentient guardian door at Nephicant Pharaohs. Here are a couple of sketches of non-specific areas in the Great Beneath. This one looks a little bit like the Gunther on the Epic Blunder title place. Title screen. If Drod were ever really translated into 3D spaces, we'd want to show off areas with shapes like these. However, at that point it would likely be difficult to present as a pure puzzle game. With the advent of the world map system in Drod, and having the countdown to determine, we knew early on that we needed a way for Beethro to plausibly move around the world quickly without running down the clock when transitioning levels. Here's a concept of a bullet train that evolved into the rapid collection system. Trains are arguably more interesting than teleportation in this context, right? Indeed he did. Here's the original sketch of the RCS access tunnel. Some of Alex's initial sketches of Drod-inspired engineers. After seeing these, we knew we had needed him involved in the art for this game. Alex did a beautiful job on every new piece of art that he cranked out for TSS. A sketch of Pharaoh Child. It holds a deep connection to the 8th within itself, hence the glowing symbol depicted above it. It's a really nice touch that Alex came up with. Sketch of Beethro. Art and inked Beethro. You can see this one on Danforth Strout's desk next to the Mimic Potion and the Wubba. Is that a Fluff Baby or maybe a Triggle? Regardless, they're cute. Buy them all! Eyebrow lifting Beethro. Homages and deleted scenes. Robobob 3000 made the custom scripting for the Beethro's Mansion bonus level. He also prototypes some other game homages that weren't converted into levels, but you can still experience them here. Enjoy! Here's another homage to a classic game, Choo Choo Rocket by Robobob 3000. This is one simple sample puzzle level to play. The goal is to guide the Fagundos into the water skipper next, while avoiding the Wraithwings. They move in the direction they are facing and turn right when hitting a wall. They will die when moving onto a pit. In the lower left of the screen are characters representing your remaining arrows. You can use them to direct the Rochus and Kapus. Press the special command key on any empty tile on the board to deploy an arrow. Keep pressing the special command key to cycle through the available arrow types. Keep cycling and the arrow will be removed from the board and returned to your supply. First, enter all the arrows you want onto the board using the special command key to cycle through. Heh. And step on the playback button, the Wubba behind the pressure plate, to watch the action play out as you set things up. If you're interested in the scripting for his demos and to see some other cool stuff he's made, I'm sure Robobob 3000 would be happy to share it with you on the Caravel forums. Nice. What? Oh, Okay, run all that by me again. Oh, those are pits. Okay. I don't know why I thought they were walls. No. No, hang on. That looks right. I win! Choo Choo Rocket is a Game Boy Advance game by Sega. Go East of You is a slightly modified alternate ending for Epilogue, where surfacers who were not collected by the patrons perish in the turning. Originally had Doogie in the instead of Melonfrawl for the first area.
Ah! What's happening? Oh!
What's happening?
What's happening? Oh!
Help!
Yes. Neat. Here's an homage to Bomberman by Robobot 3000. Press the special command key to place bombs that will explode after a few turns. Pick up the brains and power up your bomb explosions. Bombs explode before monsters move. Ooh. I think I made a colossal mess of things. Let's see here. Oop. Good. There. Super Bomberman! What's my score? 365. That was awful. Oh well. Outtakes.
Then we are agreed.
Take care, Hal. I'm proud of you. We've had our differences, but you've done more for our people than anyone else I know. That makes you a hero in my eyes.
Good luck, Uncle Beethro. Maybe I'll see you on the other side. Oh, that's an awful pun. Hey,
Yes, if I say time flies like an arrow, then that is a simile because it has the word like in it, which is explicitly comparing.
Nice. So, how about your face is like a rotten peach pie? Sorry. Peach pie? Nice reading. I thought the Razorans would stand a chance, but I see the patrons have put together a whole grebbing facility of self-replicating constructs. Ooh, let's try that again. But I see the patrons have put together a whole grebbing facility of self-replicating constructs to subdue... I'm leaving that in just for you. But I see the patrons have put together... But I see the patrons have put together a whole grebbing facility of self-replicating constructs to subdue them. You have any idea how hard that is to say? Keep it together. Keep trying. Drop the metaphors and similes.
Speak without these things. Hey.
Come on. Speaking clearly is... We're there.
Oh, it's you again.
Yep.
May you grow old, fade into obscurity, and on your dying day, revisit 1,000 regrets.
And you can choke on a horse... on a... sorry. Ha!
Good times. And hey, no scrapped puzzles. You know what that means, guys? It means we are officially done with the second sky. And oh man, how many episodes went into this game? There were a lot. But yeah, we're done, and I guess the next DROD thing we're going to do is Treacle Stew, which will probably come next week. But yeah, probably going to get a little bit more to eat, and then I'll switch over to Xenoblade. Yeah, well, I will also be playing Treacle Stew totally blind, so, yeah. We'll have to see what is the deal with the deal. Yep, the next canon installment, somehow Aletha's story continues after the events of the Second Sky, which is, neat, I guess. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in like 10 minutes at most. So, yeah. See you in a bit. It's Danforth Stroud! He's a guy who is a guy who does the thing with the thing. An ornate framed Beethro Budkin portrait for your nightstand. Your own customized I Stab Blank sweater vest, dressed to impress. Copyright infringement free experience this time. An acronym you can use to scold your children. The secondizing. Yeah, go have breakfast, Noah. I will be here when you guys come back.